think about you. All I do is come to serve. This song is for those who believe. We are the black, go out there, hang us in trees. Them curses woke me up, show me I'm a son of God. Now I'm trying to make it out of here, this life is hard.
My skin is black upon me, I'm so comely, ain't I? When you see yourself, you looking at the true creator. He told Philip, if you have seen me, then you've seen the Father. Christ is black, so there's no need for me to bother explaining the evidence because it's in the Bible. Your image is in the scriptures, but they have disguised you as pimps, murderers, thugs, and baby mamas. Praise ye the Lord when it comes to beauty, he is the author. The texture of my woolly hair is very unique, but they say it ain't worth the dime, which is crazy to me. The enemy will tear their skin to cause an illusion. We bleach our skin to look like them, you see the confusion. And to my sisters, oh how I love your royal style, and you so beautiful when you go all natural. The only explanation I can give up on my nation, they hate us cause they ain't us. It's kind of funny, ain't it? Pure gold, pure gold. Just let the royalty be beside it, you unfold, cause you are pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. See, there's a beauty deep down inside of you unknown, cause you are pure gold. Brother, you pure gold. Sister, you pure gold. It's real, we all go. Yes, we are pure, beautiful gold. Just let the royalty be beside it, you unfold.
Been reshaped and refined as the gold that don't fit. God's righteous service on here. Right next plan like chandeliers. Ain't they ever so clear that we made in this likeness? Propaganda of each song and deceiving the righteous. To the point if it were possible, he pose a regret. Even so much that he deceiveth the very elect. This fight is fixed, so with God's word placing my bet. An age with people and the truth in their tales to neglect. My skin I won't be ready. Most of my kids they trying to abuse it. They just want to be like you.
Again now, the Michael's off.
What's up? Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Peace of Tabernacles.
Just to be born with blonde hair and a surgical fit. To some, this is a dream. I say reality. We once was kings and priests. Now niggas only see pure gold. Brother, you pure gold. Just let the royalty be beside you unfold, cause you are pure gold. Sister, you
Officer Gabriel. Officer Gabriel.
Right?
I gotta do it again.
Oh. Shalom. This Officer Gabriel, right? We're here, we're getting some wood to get some fire going for the sisters, right? So that's how Israel get done, right? We look out for our sisters. Shalom.
Got the officer.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. Right now we just cutting the wood over here, getting ready to put it on the fire. Alright, Most High Christ bless. Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Working man. Got brother Baruch over here.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Oh man. This boy still running your mouth? You haven't learned yet? Keep running your mouth, bro. Oh, there it is.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. Taking Athan, Feast of Tabernacles 2015. As you can see, we're here at the family, 130 strong, setting the tents up, getting everything prepared, having a great time. We're gonna have an even better time towards the end. We're just getting started. Lord's will, we're having a great time.
Hashtag no bugs, hashtag spray them up, hashtag set the fire. Hashtag Shalom. No, make sure the door is this way. Okay.
Hey, Shalom Israel. As you all know, Iuic always doing it big every year. The Lord giving us the opportunity to do so. As you can see, this is brothers is building our ton tent. Deacon Atan tent. Behind Deacon Atan tent is my tent. Then behind my tent is Deacon Malachiah tent. So this year we bringing the sisters forward. You understand? We bring the whole family, man. You know how we do in our Iuic. Then we saw you, Elder, you could not make it this year. But y'all know you're going to keep it. You understand me? But Deacon Yaosap, we're going to, who could not make it too, so we're going to throw it in for these brothers, man. You know, we are each other keeper, you understand? But we're doing good things. Then you see this is the food section here. So bringing the whole family, we almost bring the whole Stop and Shop. You understand? And this section here, you know what I mean? You got the cook. My man right here, he act like he's the cook. You see my man over there? He act like he's a good cook over there. You understand? And you got him? You see that's the cook over there, you know what I'm saying? He all thinking that he's really the cook, you understand? We just put the brother to cook, man, because he know how to throw down, you know? Yeah, man, so this year we're doing it big, man. All praise to Most High, man. Yo, guys, man, in other state, hold it down for us, man, our Iuic and other camp, man. And so next year, again, we can do it much better, you know? Maybe next year we can win out 300 people, you know what I mean? In a Feast of Tabernacles. So your brothers stay focused, man. We got more good things to come in our Iuic. Keep us in your prayer, then we will pray for your guys as well, all right? Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Feast of Tabernacles 2015. You already know, big things going on. You know, this is the first year we got the woman and the kids with us. You understand? So as you all can see, we got a couple of campsites set up. You know, next year we're gonna even do it bigger. So you gotta stay tuned, all right?
Hey, all praises to the Most High, man. It's a beautiful thing out here, 2015, Feast of Tabernacles. Oh man, the unity of brothers and sisters this year. Sisters will be able to come out, wives, children, and it's a blessing. Because the Most High said we gotta come together, gather ourselves together, old nation not designed. Us as a people, we coming together to keep our law, statute, commandments to the best of our ability. We out here rehearsing the righteous acts. We out here cooking, hiking. We out here just communication, bringing the Bible out. We are up here for hours and hours in the wilderness. Look around us. Look around us. This is a beautiful view. At the end of the day, the Most High said, a righteous man falls 7 times and he get back up. A lot of you brothers who out here, who in wickedness, who leaving this truth, going back into the world, you crazy. We in the last days and the Most High is increasing us now. He's showing us the better way to live. We do want to keep our praises to the Most High. We want to give the Most High in the faith of Christ praises, Yahweh, in the faith of Yahweh Shah. You understand? We want to keep this thing strong, growing. We want to keep this thing in unity, and we want to keep one mind, one spirit. No divisions amongst us in Iuic. We want to keep this truth in whole and in sincerity. With that, shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Yeah. Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless, Captain Isaac, Iuic, Feast of Tabernacles 2015. You know how we do. We're doing it big out here. The family, the brothers, the sisters, the wives, the husbands, we out here dwelling together in unity, keeping the feast and keeping these laws. Alright, that's what we're about in Iuic. We're about these laws, we're about these commandments, keeping the faith in Christ. Alright, Most High in Christ bless to all of Israel. Most High in Christ bless you.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless Israel. You know we out here keeping the Most High's laws, you know what I'm saying? We showing these other camps that this is how you gotta do it. In unity with the family. You see we got the kids running around, brothers and sisters here, putting up tents. Right now we trying to get a little something going so we could feed the nation, feed the flock.
Feed the flock.
Soldier Jakim. Shalom.
I got caught already.
Okay. How do we adjust? I told you, Rachel. Like once it's set, it says we could put it right there.
Here's Miss Meanie over here.
Stop it.
Shalom. Is that a video? Shalom. Most High Christ bless. You got to survive out here. I don't know how to do it.
Let's swap. Let's swap.
Come on, man.
I use mine.
That's it over there.
Oh,
Luke trying to run away from me. I got you now. Say shalom to the people.
Hey, shalom. Most High Christ bless. Happy Feast of Tabernacles.
this is a video they're gonna edit it. I want to go.
I got you already.
Christ bless. My daughter is knocked out sleeping.
I thought that was just a rag.
Oh my goodness.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless Israel. We're out here celebrating a high holy day, Feast of Tabernacles. We just setting up the tents, getting ready, and already we feel relaxed. We're out of the hellhole, out of New York and outer parts of Jersey, and it's already calm and relaxed, you know. We already feel the love, the unity between the brothers, you know. And
now we started slow, even though I scored early, but it wasn't my opportunity. But the team started very slow, but at the end, they start picking up.
Officer.
Oh, shalom. Most High Christ bless. This is Officer Gideon, about to get ready. Got our staff ready for whatever comes our way. I'll see you later again. I'll be here all week. All praise.
That's the Officer Ezekiel right here.
What's how going?
Most High Christ bless. Officer Ezekiel is united in Christ. As you can see, we here. Feast of Tabernacles. Feast of Tabernacles 2015. Now we got the sisters, you know. So this is the biggest tabernacles yet. You know, it's a shame that the bishops and the rest of the deacons couldn't be here, but we're gonna enjoy it for y'all. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom, Most High Christ bless. Enjoy the feast.
Now everybody look at the itinerary sheet. Do not lose this. Right now we're in the area where it says open events and activities. That's not gonna happen. We're still in setup phase. So after we have this meeting, everybody's gonna go back to the tent area, and we're gonna set up the tent, situate all your belongings. And then we're gonna make the sisters, you're gonna make your way to this area and start setting up for the Feast of Tabernacles, okay? After you finish set up your tent, you're gonna make your way to this area to set up for the Feast of Tabernacles tonight. Alright? The brothers that's on the cooking duties. You're gonna meet with Soldier Ephraim. I mean, not Soldier Ephraim, with Joseph. Alright? We're gonna start setting up for Feast of Tabernacles at 7 o'clock. Whatever Joseph says, you guys need to listen to that, right? For the cooking details, I'm not dealing with that. So go to Joseph for that. Alright, so the Feast of Tabernacle dinner is going to start at 7 o'clock. 7 p.m., alright? It's going to go to about 10 or whenever. There's no noise ordinance. The place is ours. So we can do whatever we want. We can be as loud as we want here. But don't get too crazy. Alright? So that's for today. Now Monday, wake up time for breakfast is between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Breakfast times from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It shuts down at 10 a.m. So if you sleep past 10 a.m., you miss breakfast. 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. is leisure time. You know, time to do whatever you want. 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. is lunchtime. 2 to 6 p.m. is hiking and open events. Open events consist of sisters doing things with the kids and doing stuff amongst yourself. So the sisters that is kids overseers, talk amongst yourself. Go live dance for games. And you have chess, you have card games, you can do whatever you want during that time period. So we're gonna go hiking. We're gonna take the vans for the brothers. We're gonna take the vans and go to the Appalachian Trail or either the Mount Tammany. All right? Tomorrow, from 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. All right? Now, brothers that like to do fishing, you can organize yourself together. That's going, you know, anywhere 6 a.m. Officer Haim. For fishing, you see Officer Haim, all right?
Cap. Video. Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. All praises to the Most High. We're here, Feast of Tabernacles, 2015. This year we're doing it bigger and better. This year we got the sisters and the children out here. All praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Alright. Somebody's unbalanced, man.
It's because there's different heights, bro. Yeah.
Dude, come back like you holding this shit. Check it on your shoulders, man.
Then the whole thing's gonna raise up. He's short at the front. Yeah, alright. I would drop this shit. Break.
You don't need nah, keep it.
Nah, man, one shot, man, one shot. Let's go.
One shot for you because you know lifting.
Yeah, right?
Let me get him this. There we go. Now you just took it off my shoulder. See, yeah, now I'm holding the whole damn thing.
This is why I need a freaking exercise.
Bro, you don't understand this? You see how tall I am?
Weak ass. Touching this shit with his fingers.
Help my brother out like that.
Gotta help the hustle out.
I know, right?
Slow down, brother. Slow down.
Yeah.
I told you. Stop. That's what Boog just said. Stop.
Shalom. I'm sorry, Christ bless. I'm here for the Feast of Tabernacles, first time, and I'm looking to enjoy myself. And I just moved from this brother.
Just made that?
Yeah, built our first tent. It's his first tent too. So yeah, we did pretty good. And we're happy to make it here.
Oh, Most High in Christ bless. We ended here at Feast of Tabernacles. And shalom.
What are you about to do?
About to burn some wood.
Burn some
do
wood?
all them boots.
All praises, all praises.
So Most High Christ bless. We're in the Feast of Tabernacles trying to set up our tent because it's about getting late. So right now we're just trying to set up the tents right now and get everything ready before the nighttime comes and before it starts getting more cold. So this is what we're doing right now. So shalom for the other people to get everything ready so everything could be done. Shalom.
Everybody keep walking. Hey,
she's right in front of me. What are you doing?
Keep walking. Keep going. Keep walking. Do not touch the chairs. Don't touch the chairs. Don't touch the chairs.
Since she came in the game, I took her shot.
Find the chair. One of them gotta go.
Yeah.
You wanna do it again?
Yeah. Me? Really? How'd you even get in?
Okay, take one chair out.
I got it. Okay, we got it.
Okay, make the circle tighter.
All right, so let's go to Leviticus 23 and verse 34. You know read, Isaac? Yeah. You y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Leviticus 23
34
and verse 34.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
So today, as you know, is the first day and there's a Sabbath. Read on. It's up for 7 days.
We're
going to be here for 3 days. So guys, continue.
On the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
It's a Sabbath. Let's go.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And he shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and he shall do no servile work therein.
So do we offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord now?
No, sir.
Why not? Let's see who has. Raise your hand. I can't even see your hands. You try to raise your hand. I can see. You, the hand I can see right there. Why don't offer fire unto the Lord?
Because we don't have the tabernacle. And Christ died for to take away the sacrificing law.
Okay, let's see. That's too much all over the place. Yeah, raise your hand. See. Well, yeah, right there.
Yo, we don't do that no more because Christ is the ultimate sacrifice.
Where'd you go to prove that? You're not sure? Looking for it? I can't tell what you're doing back there. You looking for it? You're not sure?
That's where the scripture is.
Oh, okay, not sure. Who can help you, brother?
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10.
Let's get that. Hebrews 10. And we'll jump to verse 4.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 4. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me.
The bodies of Christ, as we all know. Go ahead.
In burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin, thou hast had no pleasure.
Go ahead.
Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
So it's said in burnt offerings and in sin offerings, thou hast had no pleasure. So the burnt offerings is no longer in effect because Christ is that body that was prepared. Read on.
To do thy will, O God.
So his objective was to do the will of the Father by dying on the cross and being that ultimate sacrifice. No longer requiring us to do what? Offer burnt offerings and sin offerings. Go ahead.
Above when he said, Sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hadst pleasure therein, which are offered by the law.
The law of what? The law of sacrifice. Go ahead.
Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
He took away the old covenant, which required animal sacrifice, and established the second covenant, which requires faith in the Messiah's sacrifice and still keeping the commandments. Go ahead.
By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all.
So that confirms it right there. So let's go back to Leviticus 23. So no longer do we offer up burnt offerings because Christ is that burnt offering. There.
And what verse you want?
We're in verse 37.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day.
These things are no longer in effect because Christ did away with those sacrificial laws. Go ahead.
Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings.
We'll do that later. Your free will offerings. We're going to entertain that in the next scripture. Go ahead.
Which ye give unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord. 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
7th day of sundown is the 8th day. All right, now read it again from the top. 39.
Also in the 15th day of the 7th month.
Stop. The 15th day of the 7th month. What month is this?
September.
September. What month number is it? 7. Correct. Septem is 7. Nowhere in the Bible do you find the feast days falling in another season ever in the Bible. In each captivity Israel was in, whether we were free or in captivity, the feast days always fell in their proper months, in their proper seasons. This is called harvest time. There's no fall or autumn in the Bible. It's called harvest time. After the spring, Israel harvest their crops to prepare it for what? For the time of the fall, for the time of winter. So this is harvest season, harvest time that we're in right now. Okay, it's the 7th month. Read on.
Also in the 15th day of the 7th month.
7th month, go ahead.
When ye have gathered in the fruit of the land.
That's the harvesting, go ahead.
Ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the 1st day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Go ahead.
And he shall take you on the 1st day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And he shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
You haven't reached that level yet. But eventually, Lord's brothers have the skills to do that, to gather wood and so forth like Gad used to do. Gad built what you call teepees today. Those are the booths that Gad built when they were on this side of the world. And they would take those, build them up, and they would travel with them. Like we did. They retained that custom on this side of the world. Okay? Read on. But now we use tents now. What are we doing? We're in rehearsal time now. We're rehearsing the righteous act, so we use the tents. All right, let's read on.
And he shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
Keep hearing that term, that word, 7th month, 7th month. If the Tabernacles falls in the 12th month or 5th month, it's off. It always falls in the 7th month according to the moon, the new moon. Let's continue.
Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Because it's an Israelite holiday. This is an Israelite feast day. This is our holiday. Okay, it's not Christmas, not Thanksgiving, New Year's, that's garbage. This is a true holiday or a holy day of the Lord that we should all rejoice and honor. Continue.
That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
I'm sorry. Jump to 40 again. I missed something.
Verse 40. And he shall take you on the 1st day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
So you shall rejoice before the Lord your God. Rejoice. Rejoice. What did Israel do when it came time to keep the Most High's commandments? They did not rejoice.
That's right.
They were mad as hell. They were angry. We got to keep this feast day again. Dang. They were mad. We were rebellious as hell. And we did not rejoice in the Lord's feast days. And that's what God's put in slavery in the first place.
Yeah, especially the way this month been going on. Feast after feast, we gather together. My brother or sister might see this thing as a burden.
Right.
But it's not a burden, man. When you keep this commandment, there's power beyond this commandment. You're in a different element. Mm-hmm. That's why brother don't understand. When you keep this commandment, you're in a different element. Mm-hmm. You might think that it's just like a regular thing, just keep it, but it's beyond that. The laws is beyond that we can imagine, man. Right. When we keep these commandments, then God able to deal with us. Then we'll be able to put these angels to work because they are part of us. They're supposed to work for us. You understand me? But as soon that we not rejoice over these things, we commit sin, we don't care about these things. Mm-hmm. And like last year we had what we had. All we had was this corner over here.
Yeah, 30 people. I had 30 people last year.
Yeah, and yet this year it was amazing to go. Brother Joel picked me up, so we was going throughout the thing, man, show the glory of the Lord.
Right.
It's using our UIC for a reason. Next year it's going to be more brothers, more sisters.
We went from 30 to 130 in a year.
So
30 to 100, so all praise to that. 130, that's 100 people. Next year will be 230, 430, 530, until it's time for us to go home and do it the right way.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's continue. Let's jump down to verse 43 again.
Verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
This is a celebration of us coming out of Egypt and the Most High having us dwell in booths. That's the whole purpose of this feast. The whole purpose of it is to remind us how the Lord delivered us out of Egypt and we dwelt in the wilderness in booths. This is a celebration of our freedom from captivity. Yeah. And but guess what? We're going to celebrate in the kingdom as well. Yeah,
let me ask you a question. Read it again.
Verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt.
Stop right there. Now I'm asking my questions. Now we keeping the feast. Where we came from? Where we came from? Dead, grave. God took us out of the land of darkness. Now we living in the feast in a dark days. You understand? In a wicked world. You understand? So we still coming out of Egypt, but the Egypt we come out of here is the dead state we once were. You understand? Now we learn it all over again now. You understand? We came from the lower state. That's the Egypt we come out of it. You understand? The lower state, we never know who we were. Now keeping that feast, we're supposed to keep it with joy.
Right. Go to Deuteronomy 16. You know what? Yeah, Deuteronomy 16. Deuteronomy 16 and verse 13. Deuteronomy 16 and verse 13.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 13. Thou shalt observe the feast of tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
It's also called the Feast of Ingathering as well. They gathered in the crops. Go ahead.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feasts, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, that are within thy gates.
During this time, Israel was established. We had maidservants, we had men servants. Yep. Everyone within Israel's vicinity that had to abide by the laws of God. All of them, including our slaves and servants. Go ahead, and our own people. Go ahead.
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God, in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
Read that verse again.
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God, in the place which the Lord shall choose.
So that place the Lord chose was Jerusalem. Now you may hear Israelites say things like, well, we can't keep the feast days because we're not in our homeland. You hear that doctrine. We're going to deal with that later on. Okay, let's read on.
Because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
He keeps saying it over and over again. You shall surely rejoice. Enjoy my feast days. Enjoy the feast days. Those feast days are a memorial of our God. What he did for us, how he got us out of captivity, that's what they're for. To remind us that our God is true. And he got us out of slavery. He's going to do it again. We must have faith in that, and we must rejoice in that, even till now. Because that deliverance is going to happen again. Read on.
3 times in a year shall all the males appear before the Lord thy God, in the place which he shall choose.
Just Jerusalem now, it says the males, because the males are the heads of each household. So that included the women and the children as well. Okay, but it says but the males, it was mandatory that the men showed up 3 times in the year. All right, read on.
In the feast of unleavened bread.
That's the first time is Passover.
And in the feast of weeks.
Pentecost, second one.
And in the feast of tabernacles.
3rd time. All males had to appear 3 times in the year to observe these feasts specifically. Go ahead.
And they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
That's why we ask that brothers provide the wood, provide the money to bring you here. Those things are provided. There were many provisions that were made, the lighting, the tents, all of that was what? Not coming empty. Bringing the wine, the food, the spices. All Israel came together, and we're having an excellent feast because we're following what the Bible says. Not coming before the Lord empty. Go ahead.
Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee.
That's happened tonight. That's happened today. Those gave, those people gave what they were able to give. And it worked out well, worked out beautifully. All praise to the Most High. So now, let's jump down to Nehemiah 8. Now we're going to go into when we were in captivity. Let's see if we kept the feast day while in captivity. Now, in this time period, what's Nehemiah's time period? Where was he at during this time? What captivity was it? Someone who's saying that. What about that?
Babylon?
No. I can't see. Whose hands up?
Persian captivity?
What?
Persian captivity?
Very good. Persian captivity. Now, when I said earlier, some will say you can't keep the feast days unless, of course, you're in Jerusalem. Now, during this time, Israel was in Jerusalem, but we were still in captivity under the Persians. So I'm going to deal with that, though. Nehemiah 8 and verse 2. Yep.
Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 2. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month.
Read again.
And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women.
So both of men and women. Both of men and women. Now last year, the first day of Tabernacles, we kept it in the school, and we had everyone there. Then in the middle of it, the 7 days, we had the men come here and camp out. Now this year we decided, you know what, the first day we're going to have everyone come that's able to come and keep the feast together, men, women, and children. Read it, because some camps will say, just men come, no women. That's not in the Bible. That's not biblical at all. Read again.
And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women.
Both of men and women. Go ahead.
And all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month.
First day of the 7th month is the blowing of trumpets. That's the 7th new moon. That's the blowing of trumpets, which is in the 7th month, which always falls in the 7th month. Doesn't fall in the 5th month, doesn't fall in the 8th month, or the 10th, it falls in the 7th month. Okay, it's the time period. Now we're going to jump up to verse 13.
Verse 13. And on the 2nd day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the Lord.
Right.
And they found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
See that? In the feast of the 7th month. This feast always fell in the 7th month. This is during what time? Persian captivity. Years later. Okay, we was in the wilderness the first time. Now it's Persian captivity. It still falls in the same month. 7th month. Which we call today September. Now read on.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, Go forth unto the mount, and fetch olive branches, and pine branches, and myrtle branches, and palm branches, and branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written.
They did the same thing that they got from the law of Moses. Read that earlier. Go ahead.
So the people went forth and brought them, and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of God, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim, and all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths, and sat under the booths. For since the days of Jeshua the son of Nun, unto the day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness.
Go to verse 16 again.
Verse 16. So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house.
So some people kept the feast and they kept the tent, the booth in their house. Yeah. The others say, I can't come, so I just have to have the booth or the tent in my house, or on the roof of the house. So you see them so-called Jews have the thing in their roof of their house or in their backyard. That's where they got this from. Okay, so our forefathers, they weren't able to come, they said, I'll just keep it in the house. The same thing they did back then. Got the booth in their homes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead, Lobby.
Yeah, but then even though within that though, you know, like Yeah, we usually trying to keep it 7 days, but sometimes our job don't allow us to do so. So you can continue living in the booth by doing one in your living room.
Right.
You understand? That's what the knowledge is teaching us, man. We have to stay alive in this thing.
Right. Read on, verse 16 again.
So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts.
In their homes, their courts. Go ahead.
And in the courts of the house of God.
The temple.
And in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths, and sat under the booths. For since the days of Jeshua, the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Israel done so.
After Joshua died, Israel went into rebellion. That's during the time of Judges, and they did not keep the feast until then. So there's years upon years upon years of them not keeping the feast at all, until from Joshua all the way into Persian captivity. They're not keeping the feast at all, because they were so rebellious. But they started to come to knowledge and repent and said, we got to keep this feast. We found the law of Moses, we got to keep this.
Yeah, you know what's so good about what you just said, Deacon Nathan? There you go that since in Joshua time, they never keep it, right? But Israel was still alive. They still have the name. They still have, you understand what I'm saying? They still have the everything. But why did God perish Israel? Why did he have to send Nehemiah to wake them up and put a form of common sense into us? That's what the law really is. The law is the eyes of the Israelite. The law is the life we live on earth. But a lot of time, brothers, we're looking at the laws, that thing that can live life without God's laws. No way you can live life. No way you can live in this environment. No way you can live in this life without living with God's laws. You're going to die. That's a plain and simple. We are the sons of God. So our guidance is the laws of God. Our way of living is the way of God. It's the laws of God. Our way of breathing up this earth is the laws of God. How the hell you don't take treasure? You don't take the treasure that was given to you in a form of rejoicing and gladness. Make no damn sense to me.
Leave verse 17 again.
Yeah, let me bring on one point. We just read that our forefathers never celebrate that holiday after in the time of Joshua until when? Until the Persian let us go to slavery. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. But go to Jeremiah 17 and 5. Jeremiah 17 and 5. Because we ain't no different from our forefathers.
Right.
You understand? We ain't no different from our forefathers. Our forefathers, they willingly didn't do it, and they was in captivity same way. You understand? And they never kept it.
Yeah.
But go to Jeremiah 17 and 5 and read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4.
It's 4, all right.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
So the Most High said that we would discontinue from our heritage. All right, our heritage is the laws, statutes, commandments. Our heritage is the Feast of Booths that we're celebrating tonight. All right. According to the scriptures, we will discontinue from that, meaning we will forget that. You understand? So right now we coming back into remembrance of our high holiday that we used to keep, or the things that we used to do in the past. We coming back into the remembrance of that. But according to the scriptures, we will forget our heritage, man.
Yeah.
Feast of Tabernacles, that's part of our heritage. All right, and not just us today did forget it, but our forefathers back then, they forgot it and they wasn't keeping it. All right, so the same way how Nehemiah read in the book of the law and was like, listen, then we not keeping this holiday. You understand? They came out of captivity when Cyrus, king of Persia, let them go to slavery. They came out of captivity, and our forefathers examined the Bible. They read it and like, damn, we ain't keeping this high holiday right here. You know what? Let's start keeping it.
Most I take our inheritance. What is another word? Disconnection. That means we disconnect to the heavens. For him to take you away, your inheritance, he give you, you disconnect it.
That's why we in the condition we in. That's why we in a lower state. That's why we live the way we live. That's why we cannot respect one another. You understand? Because we see each other like niggas. But we're not niggas. We the sons of the living God. We are the children of Israel. We are better than that, brother. Don't looking at this flesh to deceive you. That flesh can be deceivable. But think about it, the spirit you have in this flesh. You're able to receive your inherited while you're in this flesh. Learning God's laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's how we judge day to day. You know what I mean? I would prefer to be nowhere else but where I'm at now. Right. I'm telling you straight.
Nehemiah 8, verse 17 again.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 17. And all the congregation of them that will come again out of the captivity made booths, and sat under the booths. For since the days of Joshua the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness.
Keep reading that over and over again. Rejoice, rejoice. There was very great gladness. The feast days are to be kept in gladness.
That's right.
Not depression. Now you need Xanax. Not you need to take all kinds. You need to get high or drunk to have a good time. No. Having joy and keeping the Most High's feast days is your high. That's keeping right. God's laws is your high. You understand? That Israel didn't do that. That's why the blessed God's put in slavery in the first place. Not keeping the feast days in joy. Let's get that real quick. Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Thank you. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. I'm going to show you what God's put in slavery.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
See that? Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. The all things is everything and everyone on this earth. And outside of it and on it. Everything. Because you didn't keep the Lord's feast days of joyfulness and gladness, but chose to reject it, and since the days of Joshua to Persian captivity, we got put in slavery. Right. Over and over and over again until now. The Bible started us in slavery and ended with us in slavery. You don't see the pattern? Because Israel don't want to keep the Most High's feast days of gladness. But we celebrate Christmas with gladness, Thanksgiving with gladness, birthdays with gladness, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day with gladness, which has nothing to do with us. Those are all pagan garbage, heathen nonsense, which has nothing to do with our people. But when it came to the Most High's feast days, we can't keep that.
That's right.
Or you got Israel, wicked Israel saying, only if you're in Jerusalem, you got to keep it. That's madness. They still got that American mindset.
Because I don't think they believe they're coming from a dead state, though.
Right.
But that's what's wrong with our brothers, man, and our sisters. They don't really understand that how good it is, you understand, for us to receive our inheritance back, be able to take it with joyful, man, and be in a gladful heart.
Right. Read verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
For not serving God with joyfulness and gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, for not serving him with gladness and joyfulness of heart. Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
From the top, sorry, from the top.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
You don't want to serve my commandments and my laws, you're going to serve your slaves. You're going to serve those you're supposed to rule over, you're going to serve them. Go ahead.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Whatever you lack, you're going to rely on your enemies for it. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed
Talking
thee.
About Esau, because guess what? You shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he has destroyed you. Which is why, it was what Jeremiah 17 and 4. You will be discontinued from your heritage. Yeah. Because you broke my law, so therefore I'm going to disconnect you from me. Until you repent and go back into this law and know who you are according to this Bible and learn these laws and commandments. And that's what happened.
Look at Deacon Nathan, if the Lord disconnected with us, right? So that nation he put over us, that nation become our gods. You understand? Because we didn't want to serve him as a God. So now we're serving these people as gods. That's why when we tell you guys, you've been serving the white man all your life, you say, no, I didn't see it like that. But if you're not serving God, who you serving? Your enemy as God, because he is your God. Anything you want, you go from him. You you go through him for, so he become a father to you. He become a God to you.
Right.
It's the same thing a young kid growing up in his father home, or a sister in his father home. Guess what? The father is playing a God role. You understand? He's feeding you, clothing you, everything you need. The father provide. So that enemy become a God to us. You understand?
Right. Get Nehemiah 9 and verse 33. Nehemiah 9:33.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 9 and verse 33. Howbeit, thou art just in all that is brought upon us.
God is just, because the Most High said, do what I say, I'll bless you. That's the contract, the covenant. Do what I say, I'll bless you. Don't do what I say, I'm gonna curse you, and you know better. We knew better. We said, nah, we ain't listening to him. He ain't gonna do that to us.
Right.
He bugging. God ain't gonna do that to us.
Yeah.
We don't believe that. And what happened? We're living it. We're living the consequences right now. Read on.
Howbeit, thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly.
Right, go ahead.
Neither have our kings, our princes, our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thy testimonies, wherewith thou didst testify against them.
Go ahead.
For they have not served thee in their kingdom.
We didn't serve our God in our own kingdom. Go ahead.
And in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land,
Israel,
which thou gavest before them, neither turned they from their wicked works.
The Most High kept blessing us, and we kept saying, the hell with you, the hell with you, the hell with you, over and over again. So we pissed him off. Go ahead.
Behold, we are servants this day.
Even until now, we are servants this day. Go ahead.
And for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat, the fruit thereof and the good thereof, behold, we are servants in it.
We are. This is Persian captivity. We are servants in our own land. We're in our own land, but we're still servants in it. We're still slaves in it. What they're saying. Go ahead.
No, hold on, Deacon Nathan. If you're a slave in it, guess what? The thing that was given to you, now you buying it. Yeah, that thing that was given to you, now you buying it. The fruit, anything you want,
water, clothing,
yeah, you buying it. Now everything was given to you. Now you become a servant to it. I mean, you buying these things that was given to you.
Yep. Read on.
Verse 37. And it yieldeth much increase unto the kings, whom thou hast set over us, because of our sins.
Read again.
And it yieldeth.
Our land yieldeth much increase during this time. Go ahead.
Unto the kings whom thou hast set over us.
Cyrus, Artaxerxes. Go ahead.
Because of our sins.
Because of our breaking God's laws, our transgressions. Go ahead.
Also, they have dominion over our bodies.
Isn't that what God has? So the Most High said, I'm going to put them over you now. Let them be your God. You serve them. They have dominion over our bodies. So you can't say, oh, I got to go to work today. I can't keep the feast day. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
I can't keep the feast. Because they have dominion over you. You don't come into work, you're fired.
Yeah.
You're fired, you're eating out of a garbage can. You starving or you look unemployment. That lasts for how long? That's no dominion. You just say, okay, I have unemployment until 6 months. Then I got to find a job.
6 months.
That's dominion. You got to hope and pray the white man gives you money for a certain duration of time before you got to find another job. Otherwise, you're going to be homeless in the street. Because he has dominion over you. Before you had your God. You need this. The Lord give me this, the Lord give me that, I'm good. We got fruit, we got water, shelter, clothing, because the Lord gave it to us. Now, we said, nah, to hell with that. We innocent to them laws, to hell with that. Moses said, okay, fine. Put you in slavery then.
You know, man, like even though some Jews who think they get away from it, they're thinking that the master not having control over their body. The Bible tells you that the children of Israel, the enemy have control over your body. You can be an Oprah, you can be the Bill Cosby, you can be anything. You're still a servant to this system. That's why you guys don't understand. You think money make you better. Money does not make you better. How good is money when you still see your people in a lower state? That make no damn sense. It's like I'm rolling up in here with a nice Lamborghini
when your guy, you know what I mean? Like I always have my brother and my sister here, they can never even pay their rent. What's good is my Lamborghini,
right?
If you cannot pay no rent, make no damn sense. So no matter how much you got, you're still gonna be afflicted by seeing the condition of your people.
Get Isaiah 26 verse 13. Go with Laba's point about them being the gods over us. They're our gods that we served for 400 years, 400 plus years. The so-called white man, who was the red man in the Bible. Isaiah 26 verse 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 13. O Lord, our God.
O Lord, our God. Go ahead.
Other lords.
What did he say?
Other lords.
Other gods, other lords. Go ahead.
Beside thee.
Beside you. Go
have
ahead.
had dominion over us. But by thee only will we make mention of thy name.
Read it again.
O Lord, our God. Other lords beside thee have had dominion over us.
Other lords beside you have had dominion over us. What lords? The kings of the other nations.
Yep.
Those are our lords today. Those are our lords now. They have dominion over us. When we relied on our God who had dominion over us, he said, the hell with you. We ain't listening to you at all. Yep. Well, so, okay, fine. Have some other lords that you can serve.
That's right.
Your enemies. Serve them then. You see how that works for you. When you look how it's done. It's destroyed us far worse than any captivity you can imagine. We're far worse now than ever.
Because when the kings of Israel was risen up, what do we call them? Lord. Because they was exalted by Most High God. They was using the Spirit of God to guide their people. We was calling King David Lord. We was calling King Solomon Lord, because we know these men have the Spirit of God on them. But who we call Lord today? They're white men. Yeah, they're Chinese men, they're Japanese men, they're African men. Lord, Lord, this, help me this. You understand? We call these nations Lord. They are our Lord, believe it or not.
Get Nehemiah again. Go back to Nehemiah 8 and verse 18. Let's finish it off.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 13. 18. Verse 18. Also day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of God. And they kept the feast 7 days. And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly, according unto the manner.
And they kept the Feast of Tabernacles with joy and gladness according to the law, while they were being what? Ruled over in their own land. So while in captivity, Israel still kept the feast day. But someone will say, hey, but it's still Jerusalem. So now, let's get 2 Maccabees 5 and 21. Let's see if it's only to be kept in Jerusalem. Let's see. Let's entertain that thought for a moment. And let's see if that's true. 2 Maccabees 5 and 21. If you will hear that doctrine, only in Jerusalem we keep the laws, or feast days, that the Lord shall choose. Okay. 2 Maccabees 5 and verse 20. Make sure I get it. 20. Read verse 19 to 21.
2 Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 19. Nevertheless, God did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake.
The Most High chose Jerusalem, our land, for our sake, not the other way around. The land was made because we exist, not the other way around.
That's right.
Like the Sabbath, the earth, the moon, the sun, they exist because we exist, not the other way around. But we said, the hell with that. We don't believe that. We want to follow the other nations. We don't want to listen to you. And we got put in slavery.
That's right.
Read on.
And therefore the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation.
So the Most High said the same way the nation suffered, the land suffered too. Because as long as Israel is in the nations, and Israel is in the land, it operates, it works. If we're not there, it doesn't work. That's why people say to you, people ask us all the time, have you ever been to Israel before? Somebody asked you that. Have you been to Israel before? Yep. You know what I say to them? You're looking at it. You're looking at Israel. If I'm not there, it ain't Israel until we're there. That's why they say we're Israelis. You know what Israeli means? It means a citizen of Israel, not the descendants of Israel. So they know that they're just occupants there. Israel is the people before it's the place. So as long as we're not there, that ain't Israel. That's just some land until we get there.
That's right.
That's just Canaan. That's Canaan all over again. That's Canaan again. Because you have unholy nations dwelling there. So it's Canaan now until we're getting back in that land. So because we're suffering, the land is suffering because we're not in it.
Yeah, you're gonna fail to understand the land Jerusalem is a spirit.
Right.
It's a spirit in that land. Then that spirit can only deal with us as the children of Israel.
Right.
It cannot deal with the other people.
Right.
That's why when you read the book of Baruch, it's saying that land is crying. It's crying to the Most High God, saying that you have taken away my children. Now I'm going to be afflicted. I'm going to be a widow. The land is talking to the Master, the creation, the Creator who make that land. You understand? You have to be very mindful, man. This thing, we're not a carnal people. We are spiritual beings. So everything God deal with us is spiritual. You understand?
Read verse 20.
And therefore the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation, did afterward communicate in the benefits sent from the Lord. And as it was forsaken in the wrath of the Almighty, so again, the great Lord being reconciled, it was set up with all glory.
Because 2nd Maccabees is a recap of what took place in 1st Maccabees. So this author is telling us that the land was defiled by the Greeks, and eventually we gained dominion over it again through the Hasmonean family, Mattathias, the Maccabees, Judas, Simon, Eleazar, Jonathan, and Joannan. So this is a recap. So 2nd Maccabees is simply repeating in more detail what took place in 1st Maccabees. You understand? You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Read, jump down to 24.
Verse 24. He sent also the detestable.
No, sorry, 21. I'm sorry.
21. So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents.
Antiochus is a Greek that came out of the Seleucid line that overthrew our people and defiled the temple and stole and robbed the temple. Why? Because Israel was not keeping God's laws with joyfulness and gladness. They went off again. This is after Persian captivity. This is after. As after Nehemiah passed and Ezra passed, Israel went into more madness again. As usual. Read again from the top.
So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents, he departed in all haste unto Antiochia, weaning in his pride to make the land navigable and the sea passable by foot.
He was so arrogant, he thought he can travel through the land by boat. He thought he can walk on water by foot. That's how arrogant he was, is what he's saying. Go ahead.
Such was the haughtiness of his mind.
That's how high-minded he was. He can walk on water and travel through land like up through a ship. That's how arrogant he was. Go ahead.
And he left governors to vex the nation.
He left people over us, to rule over us, to vex us. Go ahead. At Jerusalem.
At Jerusalem, Philip, for his country, a Phrygian, and for manners more barbarous than he that sat him there.
Antiochus set up men to rule over Jerusalem that were worse than him, far worse than him. Jump down to verse 20. Keep going.
And at Garizim, Andronicus, and besides Menelaus, who worse than all the rest bear in heavy hand over the citizens, having a malicious mind against his countrymen, the Jews.
The Jake. So he set up even Jake's overseers to rule over Jakes. That was worse than the Greeks. Menelaus. Go ahead. Sellouts.
Remember he said to oppress them.
Right, to oppress us. We had our own people set up by the Greeks to oppress our own people. Like today. Go ahead.
He sent also that detestable ringleader Apollonius with an army of 22,000, commanding him to slay all those that were in their best age, and to sell the women and the younger sort.
So to kill the men and sell the women as slaves, and the younger women as slaves, the little girls as slaves. Go ahead.
Who coming to Jerusalem and pretending peace, did forbear till the holy day of the Sabbath.
So this guy Apollonius waited until Israel was observing the holy Sabbath, the 7th-day Sabbath. Go ahead.
When taking the Jews keeping holy day, he commanded his men to arm themselves.
To fight against us during the time of our day of rest. which he knew he wasn't going to fight on, because that was our day of rest. Go ahead. And he counted on that weakness. These guys are not going to fight us back on that Sabbath day. So wait until that, then kill them. Go ahead.
And so he slew all them that were gone to the celebrating of the Sabbath, and running through the city with weapons, slew great multitudes.
Killed thousands of us. Go ahead.
But Judas Maccabeus, with 9 others,
he was a 10th. Go ahead.
Or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness, and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts, with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution.
Judas Maccabees and 9 others was Mattathias, his brothers, and other people that ran during that time. Remember in 1 Maccabees 1, they were keeping the Sabbath. They said, we'll kill you as you come out in peace, or we kill you. They said, we'll die in our innocency.
Yeah.
That's just, it's recapping 1 Maccabees 1. It's going back into the past. Okay? Read verse 27 again.
But Judas Maccabeus, with 9 others,
his friends and family, go ahead,
or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness.
Keep this in mind. Withdrew himself into the wilderness. Go ahead.
And lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts.
And we lived like animals. Okay, go ahead.
With his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution.
They chose to eat the herbs because the food was being defiled by the Greeks in our land. So now, let's get 2 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 6 now. Watch this. So remember, we fled because of the Greek persecution into the wilderness, living in the mountains like animals. Judas Maccabees, his father, Mattathias, his brothers, Simon, and all of them, and the Assyrians, who were devoted to the law, all left and ran out and dwelt in the wilderness. Watch this.
Verse 6?
Yeah, 2 Maccabees 10 and verse 6.
2 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 6.
No, stop in verse 5.
Verse 5.
Remember, I said earlier, 2 Maccabees is a recap of what took place in 1 Maccabees. Go ahead.
Now upon the same day that the strangers profaned the temple, on the very same day it was cleansed again.
This is when Israel regained Jerusalem back in our dominion. Go ahead.
Even the 25th day of the same month, which is Caslu.
Go ahead.
And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of Tabernacles.
So the Feast of Dedication is based upon what? The Feast of Tabernacles. It's modeled after the Feast of Tabernacles. Read again. Verse 6 again.
And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of Tabernacles, remembering that not long afore they had held all the Feast of Tabernacles.
Now read that part again.
And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of Tabernacles, remembering that not long afore they had held the Feast of the Tabernacles, when as they wandered in the mountains and dens like beasts.
They were keeping the Feast of Tabernacles while they dwelt in the wilderness, hiding from the Greeks. So even while they were going through persecution, they still managed to keep the Feast of Tabernacles while in hiding, while in refuge, in gladness. So then guess what? They were not in Jerusalem. They were in the dens of mountains and in the wilderness. And they kept the Feast of Tabernacles. And when they got the temple back and rededicated it and cleansed it, they modeled that feast day after the Feast of Tabernacles. Because they remembered that they kept the Feast of Tabernacles with gladness and joy while they were fleeing from the Greeks, while they were not in Jerusalem. Y'all understand?
Yes. Amen.
Let's read on.
Verse 7. Therefore they bare branches and fair boughs and palms also, and sang psalms unto him that had given them good success in cleansing his place.
That proves right there that they kept the feast regardless of whether they were in Jerusalem or not. During Greek persecution, they kept the feast day. During Persian captivity, they kept the feast day. Okay, during the Roman captivity, they kept the feast day. It didn't matter. They kept those feasts. Now, let's get 2 Maccabees 5 and verse 18. What I want? I read that already. Jumped ahead. Go to Judges 5:11. Judges 5:11. So while we're in captivity again, like our forefathers did while they were hiding in the wilderness, they kept the feast day to the best of their ability. Likewise, we're doing the same tonight. Judges 5:11.
The book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
Noise of archers is what? Going into nuclear war, the missiles. That's the noise of archers. And it says in the places of drawing water is what? The places where you draw water. A person that draws water is doing what? They're doing servile work. That's the places of our captivity. North, south, east, and west of this planet, where Israel scattered, is the places of drawing water. Go ahead.
There shall they rehearse the righteous act.
There, in those places of captivity of drawing water, we shall rehearse. Rehearse the righteous acts, meaning what? Meaning practice, rehearse, practice, until it's time for us to do the real thing when Christ returns. So we are rehearsing or practicing the righteous acts or the laws. Go ahead.
Of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gate.
Then we shall return to our homeland. Before we do that, we must rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability. Get Sirach.
Yeah, you know, like, if we don't keep it now, you think when Christ comes, you're going to keep it? You're going to rebel against it. That's why you guys don't understand. You practice now. You're trying to get it right now. But if you don't, when Christ crack the sky, man, you're gonna be the rebellion spirit he killed. Because now is the time to try to reverse it, but you choose not to.
Right. Get Sirach 6 verse 26. This goes the precept for rehearse the righteous acts. So we always say best of your ability, and there's never a scripture, but I have a scripture right here for y'all to explain best of your ability. Like we always say all the time. Sirach 6 verse 26.
Sirach chapter 6 verse 26. Come unto her with thy whole heart.
The her is in verse 22 is talking about wisdom, the laws, the commandments. Come unto her, meaning acquire her, gain her, understanding, apply her. Read again.
Come unto her with thy whole heart.
Go ahead.
And keep her ways with all thy power.
And do what?
And keep her ways with all thy power.
The best of your ability. With all thy power, it says keep her ways. You understand?
Yes, sir.
With all that, it says with all thy power, keep her ways. So now, let's see if we're going to be observing this in the kingdom. Zechariah 14, I know what I want. Zechariah 14. Because the same way we escape, no, I'm sorry, hold that. Get Revelations first. Revelations 11. A lot of mentioned it earlier about the shadow of death. How America is the shadow of death.
Egypt.
Yeah. Egypt, right. Revelations 11. You know what I want.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Our dead bodies is our dead state. Our zombified state. Our ignorance. Our slave-mindedness. That's a word. Such a word. That's dead bodies. Read again.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
The street is referring to what? Lying the street is those graves. Those religion, Christianity, democracy, politics, hip-hop, sports. Okay? For these different philosophies, holidays. That's the streets. That's those graves. Churches, different denominations, denominational, non-denominational. It's all freaking graves. In the whorehouses.
Yep.
That's all it is. Read again.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
America is that great city. America is that superpower. Everyone wants the land of so-called milk and honey.
That's right.
The land of gold, the people say in the islands. It's that great city. Read on.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So our bodies are spiritually dead. And this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Sodom, because it passes homosexual laws. Y'all know that already. Sodom, and it advocates it, it pushes it hard among all the nations. And on top of that, it's spiritual Sodom, because it's not the original Sodom, it's spiritual Sodom. And spiritual Egypt. Why? Because all 12 tribes, majority-wise, are found here in this very land. That's why. And it's called the great city because why? It's called Babylon the what? Read again. Verse 8.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
His dead body is. Or spiritual dead. God, it crucified his image, his likeness, his mission, his objective. All that was crucified here. His features, his father, earthly father, that's crucified. He was born, he's miraculous. What the hell is this? That goes back to his image being crucified as well. They kill his image here today. He's a black man. No, they'll kill that. He was born like everybody else. Kill that. He died only for Israel. Kill that. They crucified him in every spectrum you could think of. They crucified him. He died for everybody. He died only for Israel. Kill that too. That's madness. So his image is crucified. So he was crucified here, in the very place where we are spiritually crucified every day. Read on.
Verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
And they leave us in that dead state. Leave them there. Don't fix them. Because a dead body going to the grave, they're honoring it. They're going to leave them bodies there. Leave them in these philosophies. Leave them in Christianity. Leave them in Catholicism. Leave them in Islam, Scientology, Egyptology, politics, homosexuality. Leave them in there. Don't bury them. Nah. Leave them like that. That's where they belong. And that says all nations and kindreds. And read that again.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies.
Stop. What all nations and kindreds and tongues are gathered where? What country? In America, because it's called what? The great what? The great city. The great melting pot. It's not a coincidence it's called these things. It's no coincidence at all. The great melting pot. All nations know who we are. You ask an Arab or African, they know. They don't want you to know. And when you do know, they go, wow, they look at you all weird like, whoa, how that nigga know? 500, we kept these dudes asleep all this time, dead. This one's alive? Damn. We got a live one here. Damn.
Yeah. That one is alive. I don't know. The nations has playing a mind game on us. I don't know if you ever been walking in the mall. You know, like how soon you walk to the mall, they say, "Can I help you?"
Yeah.
You know, mentally, physically, you really think that, are you gonna take it? Has that ever happened? You say, "Am I gonna take it?" You know, they mess with your spirit like that. That's why they do what they do to us. You understand? They know who we are. What, you think the nation will be clear enough to say these are the children of Israel? No. The thing that we preach, the thing we go out and preach throughout the world, guess what? The nation gonna acknowledge it. Then they're gonna say, wow, these people is really waking up. Now, but if they don't see us in one mind, one spirit, one soul, guess what? They don't care. Israel awakened. You know, that's why they say, oh, you know Israel in.
You're right.
They don't care about that.
Right. But there'll come a time when it will be a big deal. We're gonna wake up. Start with Iuic, Lord's Will, among other camps. They're gonna wake up. They're gonna apply these laws and commandments, and we're gonna get out of here. Get the hell out of here. We're gonna celebrate that new deliverance out of Egypt into the promised land. Once again, and that's it. We're going home. We're gonna stay home and be home. Zechariah 14 and verse 16. And then guess what? Everyone's gonna celebrate it. Every nation's gonna say, damn, they're gonna celebrate it. They're gonna celebrate when we got delivered out of their hands. And if they don't like it, they're gonna die horrible deaths. We're gonna read that too.
Zechariah chapter 14 verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem,
because when that nuclear destruction comes, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be very few. They're gonna get a lot of them gonna get destroyed. They're gonna be around, and the ones that are around are gonna end up doing what? Read again.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King,
Messiah, Christ, go ahead,
the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
What are they gonna keep?
The Feast of Tabernacles.
Well, they're gonna keep that feast. They're gonna celebrate our deliverance every year. Every year. They're gonna celebrate. They're gonna celebrate their Christmas, their white Jesus, their Easter, their bunny, their Halloween, their witches' Sabbath, Father's Day, their Egyptian custom, Mother's Day. Oh, they're going to celebrate our holidays now. It's going to be our turn. Go ahead.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feasts of tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt.
All nations are going to be back in their land. You're going to have Egyptians back in their land, Arabs back in their land, Persians back in their land. All nations are going to be back in their land. Because there'll be no more America. If they don't come up from their lands to keep the feast, there'll be no rain. No rain means no water. No water means no crops. No crops means you starve. You starve means you die. See the order of operations? That's how it works. That's how it goes.
Listen, the Lord is telling you what the nation gonna do. They're gonna reject it. Yeah. Then He's gonna kill them. He's telling you what they're gonna do. He's not making a statement like they're not gonna do it. He's telling you what these nations gonna do.
Yeah. Read on, verse 19 again.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
They will keep the feast. They are going to keep it. It's not a suggestion. It's not a suggestment or can you pleasement. It's a commandment. You're going to do it, or you're going to die. It's very simple. Because at one point in time, we didn't keep that feast days. We got put to death. So now it's going to be flipped around.
Yeah, read it again, Cap.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Yeah, listen to this, right? The Lord is telling us that it's going to be this nation punishment, right? But when they do that, where are we going to go to punish them? Back in this verse right here, we're going to say, God says you want to keep it, that's what we're going to do to you. We're going to read that judgment to them. That judgment we read now, that's what we're going to read to them. Because you don't want to keep these feasts of tabernacle, death. Because you don't want to do this, death. That's where the judgment written in God's books. And the book's going to be existence, man.
So with that,
that's in Psalms 149.
Yeah.
You got something?
Yeah,
oh no. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We're going to enjoy the rest of this feast. All praise to the Most High for bringing us here tonight and enjoying this feast. I'm having a great time. Hope you're having a good time. You having a good time?
Yes, sir.
All praise. Let's continue to do so the rest of the night. Go ahead.
Let the high praise of God be in them.
As you all know, you understand, we this year we allow the sisters and the kids to come out to celebrate the Feast of Booths with us, you know. These last couple of years, it's been like a how to say it, Aita? Like how it's been these last 2 years when we start celebrating the Feast.
Like a stepping stone. Do a lot of progress.
Yeah, it's been progression. But before, it used to just be like us, the brothers coming out here.
Well, the first day we had everybody come together. The first day, all of us, and then during the time of
the be the boys.
Yeah, right. We went out and we camped and so forth. You know, it was cool out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how it is right now, it wasn't like this last year over here, man.
No.
Last year it was freezing. We had to light a big bonfire. We had to stand up in front of that fire, man.
It was raining.
You understand? So you sisters, you're lucky this year, you know? you're blessed this year. But what's so heavy in this, right? The scripture, when you read the scripture and you read when we came out of Egypt. When we came out of Egypt, you understand, was we was in the wilderness. It was not an easy thing, man. You know, because a lot of you all got the blow up beds. You all got the heaters. You understand? You all got pillows and all that. Listen, wasn't comfy. You're comfortable, you understand? Well, in the wilderness wasn't none of that. Wasn't none of that when we was in the wilderness. That's why when you read the scripture, our forefathers was complaining. It was like, damn, why we leave Egypt to come out here? You bring us out here to die because it was cold. There were snakes. Our people was getting bitten by snakes, but the Most High was allowing that to happen to the wicked of our people. You understand? So it wasn't a nice thing. It wasn't a good thing. That's why the Most High say He's gonna make remembrance of us. We got this holiday to remind we had to dwell in boats. You understand? That's why the Most High had this holiday set up for us to remember, we we had to dwell in booths when we came out of Egypt. Why we had to dwell in booths? It was not a nice thing to dwell in. It's not a nice thing to live in a booth, man. You understand? It's not a nice thing. You know, Laba got the generator and lights and stuff. Wasn't none of that in the wilderness, man. You know, we had to hunt for food. You see, we bought our food and stuff like that. Wasn't none of that. The food we left with out of Egypt, once that food was done, you know, the Most High had to supply us with food, man. Wasn't no water. We got water here and so forth, but, you know, the little water up there, you know, that's cool. We bring our own water and so forth, but when we came out of Egypt, wasn't none of that. You understand? When we was in Egypt dwelling in booths, it was not an easy thing, man. And guess what? We had kids, you know, we have sisters was pregnant, you know, all of that. You know, just like how it is right now. You know, but the only difference is that the good thing about it is that how we got everybody taking part in it is that everybody could see how it is, because when we came out of Egypt, wasn't just the brothers and them alone, you know, and dwelling in booths, you know, in the wilderness. Right. You understand? Because the sisters, they stay home and dwell in booths in their house. But, you know, was all of us dwelling in the booths in the wilderness. And the kids, everybody, you know, so this is a good step. You know, and hopefully next year, more brothers and sisters come out, you know, and we do it the way how it's supposed to be done. And the reason why we're doing it like this is for the experience, for us to see how it was for our forefathers in the wilderness. You understand? Because we left the comfort of our homes. You understand? The same way we had to leave some of them comforts in Egypt, we left the comfort of our home, our nice couch, our nice bed, and we out here in the wilderness, celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. You know, so this is a good experience for us. Because guess what gonna happen? You know, and I brought out the scripture early on. We going right back into the wilderness. You understand? We going right back into the wilderness. And we're going to have to dwell in booths again. You know? So it's a good experience, man. So you brothers, you'll enjoy the experience. You understand? Because this is what our forefathers had to go through in the past. Alright?
Oh, one more thing. The Lava mentioned evil animals in the prayer. So you know, put fear in people. It's like Ezra 1 in verse 15 about the evil animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second Ezra 1:15. So y'all don't be fearful. Read that real quick, guys. Second Ezra 1:15.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 15. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token for you.
You mentioned in the wilderness, the Most High gave us quails. He gave us quails and manna in the wilderness. Go ahead.
I gave you tents for your safeguard.
Gave you what?
I gave you tents for your safeguard.
We're gonna be fine. You understand the spirit? The Most High gave us tents for our safeguard. We'll be fine. Don't be worried. Don't be worried some evil animals. Thank you, Laba.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm telling my wife, don't be looking at up like you been doing inside the house. Looking up, looking to see what the hell they got up in there.
Tents, I gave you. So he gave us tents for safeguard. All right. So we'll wrap it up. All right. Let's enjoy the rest of the feast. And the corrections they made. Don't look at us above mortal, but we're just men here. And Paul made that clear in his letters. He said, listen, I am a man. Do not think more of me than what I am. I'm a man that suffers like the rest of y'all here. So if we do make a mistake or error in the judgment concerning you, pray to the Lord that we see it and we correct it and we apologize, brother, you didn't see it, have mercy, whatever, and we move on. Keep the train moving. Some of y'all get emotional, and some of y'all are here. I'm gonna say it. Some of y'all are here, are only here to see if we're Romans 5 and 3. Right there. Get Romans 12.
Anybody near this chair?
Romans 12 and verse 3. Got it?
Romans 5, verse 3. And not only so, but glory and tribulation also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed.
Now read again, read again.
And not only so, but we glory in tribulation
So
also.
we're gonna have problems. We're gonna go through issues. We're gonna have certain trials that may be hell. Certain situations that's outside the Bible. There's certain things that take place in this present world that would never have taken place in old times.
Wow.
So we got oftentimes play judgment by ear. Like we may have a certain situation that's so complex in this present time, but you guys, to the best of our ability, judge the matter. You understand what I'm saying? So there's certain things that happen now that will never happen back then. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Go ahead, that's the tribulation. Go ahead. Also your own self, congregational, in your home, personal, congregational, marital. Right, go ahead.
Knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
So that works patience. You learn to deal with things easier. Do not be too hasty in decision making. Patience, go ahead.
And patience experience.
And patience what?
And patience experience.
And patience gives you experience. Tribulation brings forth patience, and patience brings forth experience. Experience. Good.
This right here is the difference between us and every brother that's new, because the tribulation brings forth patience, and patience what?
Experience.
Right. You know, we've been in this long enough, you know, we got experience. That's why we are more better to tell brother, yo, you can't, if you do this, brother, this is what's gonna happen. If you do that, this is what's gonna happen. Why? Because we see it happen over and over. We've been through certain things, you understand? So that's why we on the level we is when it comes to certain things, because we've been through it. And we got the experience.
Right.
You know?
In Romans 12 and verse 3.
Romans chapter 12, verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly.
Really? 4.
1 Corinthians 3, verse 4. For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal?
Meaning, because one people will say, I'm under this brother, so I'm spiritual. My teacher so-and-so, I'm spiritual. They're exalting their leaders. They're exalting their teachers. Go ahead.
Who then is Paul?
So Paul's saying, well, who the hell am I? Go ahead.
And who is Apollos?
Who the hell is Apollos?
But ministers by whom you believe.
We're just the messengers. That's all we are. Go ahead.
Even as the Lord gave to every man.
Go ahead.
I have planted, Apollos water.
I plant, Apollos gave more understanding of what I planted.
But God gave the increase.
God is over everything in the end. Go ahead.
Anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
We're going to talk all night, so you better get some water and some beer ready.
You're the topic of the night. Some brothers say you're going to be the topic of the night. You better speak up. No one has any questions. Everybody's just perfect and living righteous lifestyle. Everybody's just walking right. Everybody's just walking godly. Huh? You can see the aura on all your faces. It's so godly.
I remember earlier you were mentioning about how leaders were never expected to be leaders.
Right. By themselves.
The scripture in Jeremiah, where Jeremiah didn't want to teach at one point.
Right.
Does that go with that?
No, that goes with frustration. Hell is them being mocked and defamed and going through tribulations. Tribulation. He was going through things. They was ridiculing him,
and slandering him. So he said, I can't do it no more. But he was so, the Spirit was, remember, the Most High knew him from the womb. So I couldn't hold it in. He started blasting everybody again. Because he said, I'm going to stop teaching. They ain't listening to me. But he couldn't hold it in, because that's his spirit. That's who he is. He can't change who he is.
You know that, the scripture there, when you think about it though, you're going to have brothers that go through phase, you know what I mean, phase in life. I mean, and being an Israelite is a lot to take. The one thing I tell brothers, we tell brothers, man, you have to have a tough skin.
Yeah.
Because what make you have a tough skin? Because the discipline take that. You understand? Like, I forget who I was talking to, Captain Iuic I was talking to. Because a lot of times, or the captain or what's on it, but we have to see ourselves beyond anything. We are brothers. When you're looking at that, bro, you will never go off. When you see it as a unity, as a brother, we are the son of the living God. We have to learn how to work with one another. Regardless of what we think. At the end of the day, it's only one spirit. It's Christ's spirit. One into my vein, one into his vein. You understand who gathered us here together. So when you left the body, really you're not left in the body. You're thinking that, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else, this and that. You left the body of Christ, really, in your mind. But you're not seeing it like that because the devil said, you don't have to be with Iuic. It's not Iuic who's teaching the truth. But before you was with us for 4 or 5 years, now you realize that it's not Iuic teaching the truth. Why now you're being poured up in the spotlight. Now Iuic is not. But how many bread we break together? You know what I'm saying? How many feasts we gather together? You understand that? You don't see none of that? Then all you concentrate on is like, nah, man, I didn't like the way the brother talked to me. I don't like this and that. That's all you can see out of the whole thing. Something wrong with our spirit, man.
They love a car. They get things easy, man. Because remember when we was coming up,
yep.
You know, how the elder used to deal with us. You know, the elder he used to curse us out.
Yeah, man.
Malcolm, you got the devil on you. Shut up and sit down. Imagine you a grown man, and a man telling you, hey, shut up and sit down. You like, damn, I'm a grown man.
You think you are. You think you are.
You talking to like that, you know? That's what.
In 5, 6 years, something wrong with your spirit. You have to be in try. Lord gonna try every man. I don't care who you are. I think some brothers don't think that they'll be like, oh, you know, I know that I know the scripture said, you know, we must some of us gonna be put to death. But good luck with that one, bro. A lot of times, brother, read about the Holy Spirit. He did that there Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5. That's my favorite, man. When you look at all the history in the Bible, why God is moving away from us? We are a nation with no discipline. That's why he say, faith, if you can believe what I can do for you, you're going to be disciplined. Because you're a son, you're supposed to be disciplined.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
Flee deceit. That means there's going to be brothers among you. Class. Brother, you don't know the responsibilities behind these class. You understand? To step up, to be in the level we in, guess what? The reason I can never commit adultery is because of your guys. He's given to me. That the woman give to me. But why I will never do it? Because of your guys. Because when I think about it for my selfishness, guess what? I want to do it. But for the benefit of the body, I can never do it. Where that would take me. Something I had it already. So really my selfish is something I already had. You understand? But your guys, after I committed, you know what's going to happen now? Your guys who looking up to me now, then yours who's married, now I can look at your wife. I can look at your wife, right? I look at your wife, nothing of it, right? You see me look at your wife, nothing of it. Well, if I commit adultery, you see me look at your wife, guess what Satan going to tell you? He might be lost after her. What the hell is my wife like this? You see his eyes? Then I was not looking his wife, I was just looking straight towards his wife. I'm in my own. Then he's thinking I'm looking his wife. But you understand what I'm saying? Satan will mess with your mind, man. Yeah, that's what I told your brother, don't do it. It's not worth it, man. They all build your name back. Yeah, you can build your name back, but what's good is it? You understand? You always fall up to their own thing, the same thing, same thing, same thing. Then brother know your name as like that, you become nothing in Israel, man. Nobody wanna give their daughter to your son or their son to your daughter. You understand? You wanna give your daughter to a family that you know is about God's business, man. You understand? You heard their name, you say that brother is a good brother. You understand? Then if you notice that, if I put, let's say that I go into something, right? I go in glad, right? I say to brothers that your brothers, man, I cannot pay my rent. I cannot pay my rent. You know how many brothers that will respond to my text? You know, there'll be many brothers who respond to my text. But if you are bullshit, you just say I cannot pay my rent. Look, see how many gonna put your request. Oh no, brother, I'm gonna be a homeless. You see how many requests you got. But if I say I'm gonna be a homeless, many brothers gonna say, hey, Deacon, we can't sleep too. Why? Because there's a name being built. It's a character being built. Man, but you, nobody know nothing about you. Always a bullshit. Somebody gonna be a homeless. People look at each other. You building a name. You building your name is always in the mug. Now you talking about brother saying, yeah, it was not that brother. I ain't gonna get into my house and shit. I might left going to work brother into his shit. But you building a name. But Israel don't understand that for some reason. That's why I can never do it, man. I can never do it. Nobody else give it to me, but I have to see your guys better. Then first of all, I love Christ more. You understand? Because where I came from, there was death. I don't know how I survived it. There was death, so I love Christ more. So I'm gonna walk the perfect walk. I thought I'm gonna walk a perfect walk because he's thinking the same way I'm thinking. Thing who's not about God's laws is your enemy. That's how you have to look at this too.
Your life ain't yours.
Yep, it's not yours. He's not. He was given to you.
It's about you.
It's not about you. Come on, man. That lustful demon we all fighting with. Guess what? Like Peter said, we all going through. That don't mean that you give in. Oh no, brother. You know, we expect each one of you to keep peace coming. That's the only way the house will be holy. But you got brothers who do things secretly. Then they wonder why I'm going to this, why I'm going to that. You do things secretly. Nobody know about your life. Then how the hell are we gonna raise you up? We don't know nothing about you. You don't think we talking about each other? That brother over here. Who know? Hey, Deacon, you know about that brother here? No. Yeah, you know about that brother? No. You know about that? No. Nobody know nothing about you. They're going to raise you up. All because you show up every Sabbath. Nobody know nothing about you. But they hardly hang with you. Well, they hardly know you beside what is going on inside Israel. Hardly invite brother to your crib. You understand? Nobody know nothing about you. All that.
Yeah. Get it, man.
Who's with the camera?
You called me?
Ephraim. The kid that was with the gas.
Tabernacles video. 2015 Tabernacles video.
Huh?
Tabernacles video. 2014. Tabernacles video.
Yeah, that video.
Time for the action.
Yeah. Stop the whole fight with your partner. That's easy.
You almost dead, man.
It's too much gas now.
Oh man, they're gonna say you.
Yeah, really? Wait, I want that one. Let me see. Let me say that. Alright. Now I had to do a quick one. He's like,
recording.
Alright, time to go.
I'm recording this.
Alright. I'm throwing it off.
Alright.
Alright, some more come in. Look at the brothers right here.
Don't lean back too much, right? You have to see the balance forward.
Yeah. I think I'm good. I don't think I need nothing. I'm good. Oh, no.
You calling tip, bro?
My what? You guys really, it can be worse, right? Everyone's nobody.
See? It's getting harder, bro.
So we're gonna have
Oh shit. Oh snap.
Yo, parliament, yo.
We pay for it? Yeah, fun, man. The same way, I'm saying, the same way we took to get here. We didn't pay any toll.
No, because there's no toll. The toll is only one way.
When I got New York, I really got paid to get in New York. You know what Yo, this is round 2, y'all.
Yeah, $14.
Hey, Joel, round 2, right?
Video, right?
You know, look,
Shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless you all. As the Feast of Tabernacles. We are heading back to captivity.
He walking around like he in damn Dominican or something. Yeah, like he in DR. I seen somebody come out of nowhere. He opened the door. I got it right. Oh, yeah, he said, nah, I seen a lot in here.
Yeah.
That's my best
Got the soldier here. Got the sisters here.
I don't know. I just saw a girl again.
I stayed in the same place, but just going
brother.
slow, going forward. I was like, you know what?
Try to give him back to his mom.
I think he already got you. Got it.
Man. Camera shy. Jeremiah. You too? You camera shy as well?
I'm not about that camera life.
They already got caught already.
Wait, get me in your video. Shalom.
Oh, I'll give you some color right. You don't like color?
Oh.
Send a blessing to the family.
No, you cook it out one that the apple that called Dashing Book. And it's nice. That is good.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. We had fun. It was a blast. You know, the brothers got together and the sisters. We had a beautiful Feast of Tabernacles. All praise to the Most High. You know, that's what it's all about. There's 3 feasts that you must show before the Most High, and this one was the last one. And all praise to the Most High. Everything went beautifully. We all do what we're supposed to do. We all eat. We all, you know, have games and stuff like that and go over scriptures. And it was a beautiful thing. So everybody, you know, get along with one another. That's what the scripture is about, Psalms 133. You understand that? So, you know, hopefully, Lord's will, next year we have a better one, a bigger one, a larger one, and bring more souls to the Most High. Now we're gonna go back to bring the people back to bring them back to who they are, teach them about their true nationality, to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, to be men
according to the Lord. With that, I'm going to say shalom, Most High in Christ bless. And thank you for to Elder Nathaniel for teaching us all the ways of the Most High. It was beautiful. I learned a lot, and I appreciate it. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom, Officer Gabriel. Now, this is the last day of our Feast of Tabernacles that we are celebrating. We had a good time. We had hiking. We had good food. We have fun. We play games. We come together as a team. We are all the tribes. We leave Esau world of captivity and we come together to celebrate the feast of the Most High. Now, all this last is look around. There's the river in the background, the nice scenery. You all had a good time. The vehicles over here as we are preparing now to leave. But we hope that next year, right, we see our brothers and sisters that who weren't able to make it today. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom. Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. It's our third year celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles in the wilderness. Each year you saw the progression in the way we operated and the organization with things. The first year we did it with a few brothers. The second year increased. We did it at the Worthington State Forest. The third year it got even much better. So this year we did it with the women and children as is described in the scriptures. So it's men, women, and children, the family unit dwelling in the wilderness. This year we held Sabbath class on the first day. It's also something new that we didn't do. We had a big opening feast. We had a deacons gift class. We had a feast of tab. We had it decorated beautifully. The sisters took care of that whole area. We had tiki candlesticks around. It was just absolutely memorial. It's gonna be a memorable situation. They said everybody worked together in unity. One thing that we did not get to show was the canoeing trip. The canoeing trip was outrageous. The canoeing trip, we had brothers, you know, falling all over, almost dying with the currents. But at the end of the canoeing trip, it taught us how to unify together as a people, how to work together. Most High wanted to show us it's not about variance, it's not about racing, it's about working together as a team. Like I said, each year we're gonna do bigger and better. We have different teams and everybody work together in unity. And that's what God is looking for us to gather ourselves together. A nation that is not desired and keep His laws, to rehearse the righteous acts. So when Christ takes us and returns us back into our land, we will already be keeping the commandments. Right? And with that, happy Feast of Tabernacles and Shalom.
Shalom, and Most High in Christ bless you. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and comment on this video. Help us push this truth and share this video. Also, make sure to check out the other IUIC event videos by clicking on one of the boxes on the screen.
Nobody greet up. Ain't nobody greet up. Ain't nobody greet up.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, Please make sure you subscribe to this and join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.